Up next, 5 great stories from 80s songs directly from the artists who created them, including Toto, Rick Springfield, Men at Work, and many more on Professor of Rock. Hey music junkies, Professor of Rock, always here to celebrate the greatest artists and the greatest songs of all time. You know, if you used to love MTV and VH1 like I used to, and you've been frustrated that they no longer play music or have anything to do with music, you're gonna dig what we're doing right here. Subscribe below right now so you never miss an episode of our daily features, the history and the video straight from the artist, and make sure to check us out on Patreon to become an insider with us and for more content. It's time for a new segment on this channel that we're going to be bringing to you called 80s Mixtape. We're going to feature multiple artists on some of the memorable stories of their songs. You know, we've released hundreds of hours of content over the last year on this channel. And we picked out 5 of our greatest hits, if you will, with some new commentary to make a little POR mixtape. You know, funny stories from the likes of Toto, Rick Springfield, Men at Work, The Church, and Ray Parker Jr. It's a can't miss. It's a great way to start your week off, you know, if you're kind of bored here on a Monday. And as we go into this mixtape, I want to thank our sponsor, Zenni Eyewear, the glasses that are my window to the world. If you go to Zenni.com, like me, you can shop according to the shape of your face. You can ensure that you always have a variety of really cool, distinctive eyewear that look great on you. Here is the mixtape.
I don't know. The first thing we did was the duet with Paul McCartney.
Yeah. Girl Is Mine.
That was a big day.
And you arranged that, David, right?
Well, we all kind of arranged our own parts. Quincy called me originally and said, I want you to help arrange that. And Quincy would do the normal thing, which is call all of us and say, you know, what do we do?
I think the arrangement sort of happened on the spot.
It did. Absolutely, you know. Of course, you had George Martin standing in the room also, and he was whispering things over my shoulder to me.
Wow.
Like, you know, so let's modulate.
Well, I just remember, like, you know, when we sent us the tape, you know, I remember being at Jeff's house, going, like, you know, Jeff Porcaro. And he goes, come on over, man. Quincy sent over the cassette for us to dig the day before the session. Yeah. We're like, okay.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, Paul McCartney, what's this going to be? An epic. And then when he started playing the song, the doggone girl is mine.
We're looking at each other.
And we fell out on the floor, man. We're like going, come on, is this a joke? The doggone girl is mine. I mean, we didn't understand where it was coming from. We thought it was a little, you know, we're like, really?
The doggone girl.
We thought it was going to be like say or something.
Just look at my face, these tears ain't drying.
You know, something a little rhythmical, a little McCartney.
It was just really super pop, like you know, kind of
adult contemporary,
like like the really sugary pop. Like trying to go, McCartney was going to do this. You know?
Yeah, I don't think any of us had ever used the term "doggone" in our lives. Anyway, that's when we look at each other. You know,
was that like So Michael right there,
or Paul? You know,
no, it was Michael wrote the song. Paul just sang on it. You know, that was the thing. They were.
But even the talking part.
We're not going to fight about this, okay?
Paul, I think I told you. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
The actual day of the session was just insanely cool.
Yeah.
I mean, hanging out with, you know, that was a big moment. I mean, you're working with Paul McCartney from the Beatles and Michael Jackson, you know, arguably at the time, 2 of the biggest pop stars in history.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's not arguably at all. I mean, that was just what it is.
Yeah.
You know, in the room, the hang was so great. We started jamming Stevie Wonder songs, and it was like, there was a great vibe, and Paul and Linda were awesome. So we did this date, and it was really a lot of fun. And they really dug the experience.
Where is that tape, man, of those guys jamming those
somewhere? I don't even know if the tape rolled at that time.
It was rolling because they played some of it back, but somebody has that, and it's one of the greatest. People ask, "What's my favorite session?" It's probably one of the greatest sessions I've ever been on. Was that duet where they were jamming, especially when Michael came in.
Yeah, because it was all live. We were all playing live.
Yeah.
It was a room full of people. I mean, it was like weird. It was like Dick Clark was there. Like there was all these. It was really kind of creepy, almost to the point where we stayed in the room. There were so many people in the control room, and then Paul and Linda came out and started hanging out with us.
Yeah.
And then Dave started playing Day in the Life on the piano, and we were all sitting around shooting the shit, and we all hit it off. And then Paul called me and Jeff to come over and work with him right after that.
It was actually, it's really funny. This guy, we went to see the premiere of Live and Kicking, which is the first live show I did. I'm taking a whiz, right, in the public bathroom. This guy walks up, starts taking a whiz with me, and starts looking at me, right? I'm going, oh, dude, seriously? And mid-P hands me a tape, cassette tape, back when the cassette tape. He said, "You got to hear this song. I wrote this song. You'll love it." I'm kind of going, whoa. How do I take this? So I took the cassette, right, and I got in my car and I threw it on the floor. And a couple of months later, I'm driving it to General Hospital, and I'm looking for something to play, and I see this tape, and I pick it up and I put it in, and I hear boom, 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 boom. I thought, what is that? That's awesome. And then it went into this song about Superman, and I go, oh, no. It's not awesome, but it's a great start. And so I took that intro and wrote a song around it while I was at General Hospital, actually. I remember sitting there with the keyboard and they're going, Rick Springfield, you come on set. I'm going, wait, I got to finish this. So wrote a song around that, which I think is still it's a great classic synth intro. It's still a fun song to do.
The key for that song was meeting Ron Streichert, the other guitar player in the band, and he opened a creative door for me, and we started to work together. We wrote Down Under as a co-write, but we didn't really even write it together. He had the original idea for that song, which was on a little cassette tape. He used to make these really interesting little home demos, and they were always kind of very interesting. And this one had a kind of a percussion bass. He'd filled up bottles with different levels of liquid, and it was doing dum, dum, ticka, dum, ticka, 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 dum. And that's what the start of the song was. Right. We kind of used that at the start of the song, but in the demo it was just that all the way through. And it was just doing ding, ding, ticka, dum. And then there was a bass line he put on there, which was dum, ticka, dum, 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 ticka, dum, ticka, dum, dum, dum. And it just kept going.
I come from a land of love.
And for a few weeks before that, I'd had this line in my head, living in the land down under. And then one day I was driving along in this street that I used to have some friends who lived there in Melbourne. And this thing was going along, it was going dum, ticka, dum, ticka, dum, dum. And so I just think, living in the land down under. I thought, oh, that's cool. And so I was just sang it over his tape. And then the next morning I just went home and the lyrics and the chords came. And it just came like in half an hour, and that was it. In the space of maybe 2 or 3 months, the band came together. So I had a vehicle to immediately play those songs. And so we were kind of a jam band for a while. We were kind of hippie influence, and we would play Down Under, but it was like 6 minutes long, and we would play Who Can It Be Now, and it's 6 minutes long. But the songs were there, and having the band as a vehicle to play those songs was there. And then the other key thing that when we played for a couple of years, but when we eventually got the record deal, Peter McKeon, who was the American record producer, he was very instrumental in taking those songs and spearheading the arrangements of them, and moving the parts around of the songs, and taking the saxophone and putting up at the front of the song in Who Can It Be Now. And so he really turned the songs into pop songs,
And Down Under spent 4 weeks at number one, was a big hit, but
I think it was 16 weeks.
The
15 weeks?
album, the album was 15 consecutive.
You know more than me.
No. Well, both of those songs have had a huge impact on pop culture. I mean, Down Under has been used in the Crocodile Dundee movie and the Sydney Games. You performed it in front of scores of people.
Yeah, that was a big moment, like 2 billion or something. That was exciting.
Yeah, to represent.
That'll never happen again, probably in my lifetime, I would say.
Brussels, 6'4", full of muscle. I said, do you speak my language, brother? He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich.
So that was the first time I'd been in LA in a while. I was in Spago's eating, and there was a black poster, and they were just painting the red circle. The phone rings, and it's Gary LeMel saying, you got to help me on this film. You're the guy to do it. I know you can do it. And he was 100% sure that I could do it.
Well, they had already had like 60 songs.
A lot of people. Yeah, they had a bunch of songs. And Gary says, man, we got a problem here. The director don't like anything. The movie's coming out in a few weeks. I need this song. And he says, but I need the words Ghostbusters in the song. He gave me very specific. He says, I want saxophone line in it. Because he wanted it to like sound like a bar band music. And if you think bar band, when I was in the bar.
Oh, yeah.
So I know we're going to play those chords. Boom, 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 boom. That's bar band. That's what a bar band does. So, you know, I went to see the film and everything was going. I met the director. He told me exactly what I wanted. He said, I need a little saxophone, I need some bar band, need some da-da-da. But it needs to be up-tempo, you know, don't make it too slow because the movie's got action in it, needs to get going. And I sat there like, okay, I got it. I said, I don't know what to do. And I thought, this would be simple. He wants some bar band thing. Then he throws the curve at the end of the meeting. But I want the words Ghostbusters in the song. It's like, Ghostbusters. And he said, yeah, Ghostbusters. You know, see, now you say Ghostbusters. That's because you heard the song.
Oh, exactly.
But before you heard the song, it was like Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Think about that for a minute. What rhymes with Ghostbusters? Nothing.
And wait a minute, worse than that, you can't even sing. It sounds stupid. When you just, I love a Ghostbuster. I mean, there's no way you could say this word.
No.
Then it occurred to me, no wonder they got 60 songs and nobody's liked it over here. This is
How
a hell of a job.
That?
No wonder they're paying me this. This is impossible, you know. But there's this part of the movie where the Ghostbusters had their backpacks. And they got their things, and they got the phone number underneath it.
The 555 number.
Minute. Pick up your phone and call the professionals. Go Ghostbusters.
So 4 a.m, I'm sleepy. I got all the music's done. I got no words, none. And then the commercials come on TV, and I think it's a pesticide or Roto-Rooter commercial. I don't know what it is, but something like that. And the guys had their bug machines or whatever, this pesticide spray thing. And they had a phone number in here. And they said, call this number if you want to get rid of so-and-so. I'm like, that looks like the Ghostbusters. That's it.
Yeah.
Call. I had no, now I know it's like the phone number. Forget the Ghostbusters, it's the phone number. And I thought, well, I got to say who you going to call. And I said, if I do that, what that allows me to do is never say the word Ghostbusters. And then I'm going to have a crowd answer Ghostbusters. It's who you call. And I said, because it's a crowd, they're not really in the record. They're not musical. So that takes away the word Ghostbusters. That gets it out of the song.
Exactly.
So we can have a song. And I can sing who you gonna call.
Who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters!
And the magic that happened is you got me from Detroit with my sort of Detroit accent. Who you gonna call? I'm doing, I ain't afraid of them. But then you got these Valley girls with that stiff, I mean, real, you know, Los Angeles Valley. So it's like, East Coast meets West Coast, and they're like, you know, someplace else. And it just worked.
I want to ask you about Reptile. Where did that start? Where did that come from? Because that guitar, it's just so distinct.
Yeah, a guy, I think Reptile did something we never quite managed to do again. And that is the way the parts all play against each other. Like the Church has always been a band where it's not everything just doing the same thing at the same time. Everything's all working like a machine. I think that was the best ever example of that. The guitar line and the bass and the singing, everything it all happens in a different part of the song. It's sort of like it's a strange song.
Too feeble to let go.
I went home with this woman one night I met in Cantor's, Delhi. Mm-hmm. And I went in the bathroom, I was having a piss. And there was a sound behind the shower curtain. I looked behind the shower curtain, there was a great big fucking lizard in there looking at me. And I was like, oh! And the woman goes, oh, you've met Rupert, or whatever his fucking name was. Oh! Whatever the it was, huge thing. I guess that had something to do with it. I was always fascinated by this idea you could get these little creatures, but after a while, you have to get rid of them because they get too big for you to manage. And yeah, the one day they're going to turn around and fucking bite you if you don't know what you're doing. I like that metaphor.
Hey, thanks for watching. Leave us a comment about this mixtape below. What else would you like to see? I mean, we have so many fun stories from the different decades, so many interviews. What other artists and songs would you like to see us cover on here? Let us know. If you like our interviews and our videos, we do invite you to subscribe below, to be a part of our community, help us build this great community of music. Now, check out our 80s store below. We actually have brand new merch coming out very soon. Make sure to look at our description for more details. You're going to love it. For even more content and to get insider access, again, join us on Patreon. Help us keep the music alive. Until next time, 3 chords and the truth, my friends. Stay safe.